Don't measure yourself in rankings. Don't measure yourself in standings. Continue to measure yourselves in the size of your heart as an individual and the size of the heart of this football team. There is a belief that individuals cannot shake.
Fellas, it is hard to beat a team that refuses to lose. Yes, sir. Yeah. It is hard to beat a team that says, we ain't going to lose. I don't care who's in. I don't care who's out. If you believe in each other, if you believe in what we're doing, nobody can beat your ass.
A very good evening, and thank you for joining LakinSports.com on Facebook and Lakin Bronc Sports on YouTube for tonight's Lakin Bronc football game. Brett and Sandy Hendricks are proud to bring you the 18th year of covering Lakin High School purple and gold sporting events, along with other live events streaming on the internet. Lakin, be proud. It's time now for live video coverage of Lakin Bronc football, brought to you by these outstanding supporters of Lakin High, without whom the webcast would not be possible. KCB Bank of Lakin and Garden City, the agency of Lakin and Garden City, Lakin Hay Fred Ripson, a proud supporter of Lakin High, Shorty's Cafe, Main Street, Lakin, great food and great times. Gwen Weckler Shelter Insurance, Lakin, at the red, white, and blue shelter sign East Highway 50. Pioneer Communications of Southwest Kansas, keeping your community connected. Along with Lakin Drug, 610 O'Laughlin Street, Lakin, a pharmacy you can trust. The Kearney County Economic Development of Ralph Goodnight. The Lakin Recreation Commission, 702 North Campbell. Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin. D-Bach Metals, Dwayne Bachman, player of the game medal sponsor. And Flashbacks Diner, West Highway 50, Lakin. Step back to the 50s. It is close to game time. To the booth we go with the 18-year voice of the Lakin Broncs, Brett Hendricks, along with Jared Hendricks.
And a good Friday evening. Welcome to Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube, LakinSports.com. Brett Hendricks with you. Thanks for joining me tonight for Bronx football. Tonight is week 9 of the schedule, but it is the first round of the Kansas State High School playoffs in Class 2A. Tonight, the Broncs 6-2, hosting the 3-5 Halstead Dragons. Our pregame sponsor tonight, the Golden Plains Credit Union.
Refinance your auto loan at Golden Plains Credit Union. You could lower your current auto loan rate by 2% with no payments for up to 90 days. Rates can be as low as 3.25% annual percentage rate. This offer applies to loans financed from another lender. Think of all the money you could be saving every month. This is a limited time offer, so stop by and ask about refinancing your auto loan today. Golden Plains Credit Union. Life with a touch of gold. Member NCUA.
Welcome back to Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. Brett Hendricks with you once again as the Broncs get set to host the Halstead Dragons in round 1 of the Kansas State High School playoffs. Earlier we had a chance to talk to Coach Chris Bamberger, and when we return, we'll let you hear it. Brought to you by the big red, white, and blue sign, Shelter Insurance, East Highway 50, Lakin.
A lot of action on the street today, huh, Willie?
Yep. Oh, check out the German V8.
Good car.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Ooh, 64 dream car.
At Shelter Insurance, we insure all your favorite rides.
Oh, classic convertible.
And have since 1946.
Sweet pickup. Hiya, Muggsy.
Yo.
From Hot Wheels to hybrids, we've got you covered.
Hey, mailman.
Love those shoes.
Hey, where you going?
Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
And welcome back to Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. Brett Hendricks with you tonight. The Broncs are back at home in week 9 for the first round of the 2A state playoffs, and they get set to battle the 3-5 Halstead Dragons. We're now joined by Coach Chris Bamberger. And Coach, what seems to be the case week in and week out, and with injuries to key players, last week was another one of those situations of next man up, and it seems to be working for this team right now.
Well, you know what? We had a handful of guys in the game plan last week that hadn't played a lot of varsity up to this point, and I think one of them even I wouldn't say coined the term, but he definitely brought it up a lot in practice and in the locker room and in the weight room. He was talking about next man up, and you know what? Those guys, Lucas McCombs and Kyle Douglas, and those guys stepped up and played some really good minutes for us. Mostly on defense. Lucas played quite a bit on offense also, and so obviously really pleased with what they were able to do for us last week.
And there was a lot of new names that we were calling out last week. Of course, Kyle Douglas was one of our players of the game last week, but one of them that played on the offensive and defensive lines was Jaden Johnson. He did a great job last week, and on defense, he was along with Eli Bemis, they harassed that Larned backfield all night long.
Yep, you know what? Those kids are, again, a couple juniors that have really come a long way, this year and in their playing career so far, and definitely like where they're at so far. Hopefully they can continue to find ways to improve their game.
Alex Robles was another one that was thrown into and I shouldn't say thrown, he was put into the starting lineup. He's there because he earns it, that's for sure. Never thrown in, but he had a nice night as well, a 49-yard touchdown pass from Coulter. And with that halfback pass, that's one that we hadn't seen before. We did see it last year, but we had not seen that one yet.
Yeah, and those are plays that you work in practice, and you don't know when or if you're going to use them. And Coulter, any kids that get their number called on those kind of plays, they always like those for whatever reason. So they're always in your ear and wanting you to call it. And we wanted to start fast against them. We wanted to get going early, and we felt like it was the right time. And the kids really executed well.
And it was definitely a quick start against Larned last week. We mentioned Kyle Douglas. I'll tell you what, he's one of those kids that hasn't gotten to play. He gets to play, but not a lot, and hadn't started. But, man, he's got a motor that I'll compare it to Grant Mendenhall before he got hurt. Grant Mendenhall was all over the field. Kyle Douglas, he played with a lot of passion and enthusiasm last week, and he played well.
He did, and that's what's earned him, the minutes that he's gotten. He plays that way when he's on scout team, and, when he gets his opportunity, he plays with a really good motor. And we tell the kids all the time, if you play aggressive and fast and hard, it can really trump a lot of other things. So if you happen to make a mistake, but you do it really fast, you might still have a chance to be successful, or at least impact the play in a way that we need him to. So, he's going to get some more minutes tonight. Hopefully he can put another performance on the field.
Definitely well-deserved. Defensively last week, held Larned only 95 yards of offense, just 14 yards on the ground. And Larned was driving late in the game, but then a pick six by Drew preserved the shutout. I know defenses always take pride when they can pitch a shutout.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something Coach Pollard, he doesn't, well, I suppose every defensive coach sets out to, pitch a shutout every week, but the game can go a lot of different directions, and they were really up for it. They executed well. Coach had them in the right positions, and they did a really good job of minimizing what Larned was trying to do.
On offense last week, Coulter had one of those rare trifectas: ran for one, caught one, threw for one, and just 111 yards from his third straight 1,000-yard season here tonight.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know that anybody's surprised by him in that, being in that situation. And, these kinds of games, this point of the season is where, these guys show up, these senior veterans that have played so tough for so many years. And this is when you really expect him to show up and show out, and he has really done that so far.
Tonight, the Broncs get back to somewhat healthy. Get two key players back in the lineup tonight. Grant Mendenhall back in the lineup, and Ross Ryder. And I talked about Coulter being a 1,000-yard rusher possibly. Ross Ryder was well on the way until his unfortunate injury. But two key important players back in the lineup for the Broncs tonight.
Those two as football players bring so much to our football team, both sides of the ball. As kids and as teammates, they bring so much also. And so it's going to be just so positive to see them in uniform tonight, and we're going to get them on the field and see what they can do, see how well they can handle it. They've done a good job in their therapy, and they've been doing a good job in the weight room and in practice. So, the only thing they haven't been able to do is go against live contact yet, and so that will be, to be find out, once the game kicks off, but definitely excited to see what they can do tonight.
And just having those two, they've been on the sidelines during their injuries, but just having them back in uniform out there, that has to do a lot towards the morale of the team. Not that this team hasn't been ready to play, but I guarantee you that is just quite a morale boost just to have those guys back.
Yeah, it always feels good when you have all your guys in gear and ready to contribute, and those two are no different than anybody in that role, and we're definitely happy about it.
Your first round opponent tonight, the Halstead Dragons. It's the first ever meeting between Lakin and Halstead, but the Dragons look to be a team that likes to mix it up with a dual threat quarterback.
Yeah, their head coach is kind of coming from the same tree as me as far as where we pull our offense. They'll look very similar to us, but they have a lot of quality skill positions as well. So they're able to run the ball and throw the ball very well. They have a lot of good big bodies up front. So we look for them to present a lot of challenges.
Their quarterback has thrown for 800 yards on the season. He's just under 400 yards rushing. So, like I said, he's a dual threat. But 4 receivers, and it may not sound like very much, but they have 4 receivers with over 120 yards receiving, but for each one of them. But what that shows is with that offense, they'll spread it around.
Yeah, and being a flex bone type offense, spreading the ball around like that in the passing game is even more impressive. So, they present some challenges, especially with some of the concepts that they run in their pass game. So, we're going to have to be on point. Kids are going to have to be really, really clean on their keys and trust each other to execute.
And looking at their record, they come in at 3-5, but I'll guarantee you they're probably one of the better 3-5 teams in the state. But looking at some of the film, a very well-rounded team, but looking at their schedule, they're going to be well-tested coming into tonight.
Yeah, they are. And you can tell when you watch the tape, they're a well-coached football team. They execute well. There are a whole bunch of seniors on their field, too. I think, if I counted right, I think they only play 3 non-seniors in their starting lineups usually, and most of them are juniors. So pretty similar to us. And when you watch them play, it makes sense because they are very sound, very savvy, well-coached lineup, very disciplined, execute, physical. So, everything that you would imagine from a good football team and everything that you would expect this time of year.
Going to be a good game between two good football teams, and right now the weather is perfect. Might be a little chilly when the sun goes down, but you expect that this time of year. Coach, as always, thanks for taking the time to come up and talk to us. Best of luck, and we look forward to talking to you when we're done.
Thanks, Brett. We appreciate having you here.
You bet. Thanks, Coach. That's Bronc head coach Chris Bamberger once again as the Broncs get set to battle the Halstead Dragons in the first round of the 2A state playoffs. When we return, we'll continue with our pregame right here on Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. Don't go away.
A lot of action on the street today, huh, Willie?
Yep. Oh, check out the German V8.
Good car.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Ooh, 64 dream car.
At Shelter Insurance, we insure all your favorite rides.
Oh, classic convertible.
And have since 1946.
Sweet pickup. Hiya, Muggsy.
Yo.
From Hot Wheels to hybrids, we've got you covered.
Hey, mailman.
Love those shoes.
Hey, where you going?
Shelter Insurance. Wear your shield. We're your shelter.
As we continue our pregame, we'll take a look at what's going on in the area and scores and action from the area in the High Plains League when we return as we continue with our pregame.
They said this place was too isolated to call home. They said it was too remote to build a community. And then one day, a farmer strung a copper wire from one fence post to another and changed everything. We didn't build the communities of Southwest Kansas. No, we just brought them together.
And a big thank you to Pioneer Communications and all the great sponsors that make Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube possible. Here's what's going on around the High Plains League in the area. Let's look at some scores from last week. Smith Center blanked Syracuse by the score of 58-0. Oakley, the Plainsmen, down Stanton County by the score of 56-9. In the High Plains League, a non-league contest, but Holcomb defeated Southwestern Heights 48-0. And then our game last week that you saw right here on Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube, Lakin shut out Larned 49-0. In eight-man games in the High Plains League, Sublette all over Spearville 72-26. Meade blanked Elkhart 46-0, and Wichita County downed Ellis 56-8. Games going on around the area tonight here in Week 9, the first round of the playoffs. Some of the teams are just playing the fifth place district games. That'll be a one and done for them. But here's what's going on around the area. South Sumner, 2-7 on the year. They travel to Syracuse, and Syracuse comes in 0-8. Stanton County, they are 1-7 on the year. They face off against Ellenwood. I did not get a record for Ellenwood, but those two teams played earlier in the year with Ellenwood winning that contest. Russell is 2-7. They are at 2-6. Southwestern Heights. Actually, Russell's 2-6. I apologize for that. And of course, our game here tonight, the Halstead Dragons 3-5, and the Broncs 6-2. In 8-man games in the area, Udall, a battle of, I guess we would say, the battle of the beatens. Two teams that are looking for their first win. So one of these two teams is going to walk away from their season with a win. But Udall 0-8 at Elkhart 0-8. That is an 8-man action. Oberlin 4-4. They are at Wichita County 6-1. And Pratt Skyline, they travel to Sublette to battle the Larks. The Larks are 6-2 on the year. Wichita County back in the playoffs again this year. They are the 8-man state runners-up from a year ago. They're going to be looking to try to get that crown back that they won a couple years ago. So that's what's going on around the league and the area. Brought to you by Pioneer Communications of Southwest Kansas.
They said this place was too isolated to call home. They said it was too remote to build a community. And then one day, a farmer strung a copper wire from one fence post to another and changed everything. We didn't build the communities of Southwest Kansas. No, we just brought them together.
Welcome back to Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. We continue with our pregame. Looking at what's going on around the high school, and the calendar is starting to shorten up a little bit as fall sports and activities start to come to a close, but there still are a few events going on. This feature brought to you by Fred and Yoka Ritzma of Lakin Hay and Lakin, longtime supporters of us here on Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube, LakinSports.com, and of course, continuous supporters of Lakin High School sports and activities. Last Saturday, the cross-country team traveled to Norton for the 3A regional meet. Girls finished in 8th place. The boys finished in 2nd place. Girls were led by Emma Miller and followed by Claire Barnhart. Emma Miller finished, I think 24th. I believe it is. I have 2nd on there, but I know she didn't finish 2nd. I think 24th. But Claire Barnhart finished in 29th. Amari Escobar 41st. Shalala Kentner 55th. Abby Holmes 68th. And Addison Grusing finished in 70th place. And that ends the season for the Lady Bronc cross-country team. They did not qualify as a team to move on to state. Here are the boys' results. Once again, the Broncs were the 3A regional runners-up, and they were led by a runner-up finish by Austin Ritzma. Alex Luce finished in 3rd. Zale Bermudez finished in 19th place. Blake Matthews in 26th. Gabe Cox in 27th place. Camden Birdcamp finished 31st, and Josiah Schultz finished in 47th place. As a team with that 2nd place finish, the entire team qualifies for tomorrow's 3A state cross-country meet. Last Saturday also, volleyball was at Hoisington for the 3A sub-state, and unfortunately the Lady Broncs lost to Holcomb in the opening round in 3 sets. And the Lady Broncs, the 6-time defending High Plains League tournament champions, they finished their year with a record of 25-14. Only thing going on after tonight is the 3A cross-country state meet in Lawrence tomorrow at Rimrock Farm. So best of luck to the Bronc cross-country team tomorrow as they run. Now, those that would be traveling to Lawrence or looking to follow it online tomorrow, whatever, they have moved up the start times tomorrow due to the wet and rainy forecast starting late tonight in eastern Kansas. They're talking rain starting tomorrow through Tuesday, and they're talking some possible heavy rain. So Acacia has moved up the cross-country start times for tomorrow. So check the Acacia website for the updated times for those state meets tomorrow. So this week at Lakin High School, once again, thank you to Fred and Yoka Ritzma, proud sponsors of Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. When we come back, we'll look at some starting lineups and the keys to the game, brought to you by the agency of Lakin and Garden City.
Some commercials make it really tempting to buy cheap insurance. That's great if price is the only thing that's important to you. The agency believes cost is important, but protection is what you're really paying for. Rely on the agency to build the policy that protects your property at a price you can afford. Call the agency today at 620-355-6789.
And our starting lineups tonight is the Broncs. You can hear the music in the background, are making their way to the field. And let's look at the starting lineups real quick. The starters for Halstead. And we'll just go through the offensive linemen numerically. A junior wearing number 50, Logan Overton. A senior wearing number 55, Gage Meyer. A senior wearing number 56, Connor Herman. A senior number 62, Justin Burgess. And wearing number 8, a senior, Kurt Faudel. The wideouts, number 2, a senior, Cohen Corona. The other wideout wearing number 9, a junior, Noah Deal. At running back, number 3, a senior, Joey Millspaw. And another running back, a senior wearing number 12, Breeson Bigley. And the fullback, number 32, Reese Carmichael. The quarterback for the Dragons, wearing number 8, a senior, Braxton Creed. The head coach, Derek Reset. The assistant coaches, Sean Reset, Ryan Baran, Terry Bruton, and Jonathan Burkhart. Now the starting lineup for your Lakin Broncs. At center, back in the lineup, number 50, Grant Mendenhall. He is a senior. Wearing number 52, a junior. At right guard is Norian Cantu. And the Broncs, here they come out of the tunnel. As we continue with the starting lineups, Dane White moves back to the left guard spot. White wears number 71. He is a junior. At the right tackle, wearing number 72, a junior, Eli Bemis. And at left tackle, a senior, wearing number 70, Thomas Peters. The wideouts, wearing number 0, Adric Gomez Escobar. And on the opposite side, wearing number 10, Timmy Johnson. He is a senior as well. At fullback, Coulter Oldham wears number 15. He's a senior. Coulter at 889 yards on the year, looking to reach that 100,000-yard plateau here tonight. The slot backs, back in the lineup for the Broncs, wearing number 1 is Ross Ryder, a senior. And on the other side, a senior wearing number 8, Armando Salcido. And the quarterback for the Broncs, wearing number 9, Drew Patterson. Patterson is a senior as well. Coaches for the Broncs, the head coach Chris Bamberger, assistant coaches Chris Pollard, Travis Johnson, Bryce Simon, and Mitchell Burns. Starting lineups for tonight's contest between the Broncs and the Dragons of Halstead. We're going to take a quick timeout. Keys to the game and starting lineups brought to you by the agency of Lakin and Garden City.
Some commercials make it really tempting to buy cheap insurance. That's great if price is the only thing that's important to you. The agency believes cost is important, but protection is what you're really paying for. Rely on the agency to build the policy that protects your property at a price you can afford. Call the agency today at 620-355-6789.
Stand and look to the west end of the field. Remove your hats as we have Cassidy Hickok tonight sing our national anthem.
Our national anthem sung by Cassidy Hickok. Our pregame has been brought to you by Golden Plains Credit Union.
Refinance your auto loan at Golden Plains Credit Union. You could lower your current auto loan rate by 2% with no payments for up to 90 days. Rates can be as low as 3.25% annual percentage rate. This offer applies to loans financed from another lender. Think of all the money you could be saving every month. This is a limited time offer, so stop by and ask about refinancing your auto loan today. Golden Plains Credit Union. Life with a touch of gold. Member NCUA.
This activity is being brought to you by this station, its advertisers, and member schools of the Kansas State High School Activities Association. No rebroadcast in whole or in part may be made without the written permission of the Kansas State High School Activities Association.
And welcome back to Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. Brett Hendricks with you, getting set for the meeting of the captains at midfield. The captains for the Broncs: Drew Patterson, Timmy Johnson, Thomas Peters, and Armando Salcedo. Our first quarter brought to you by Shorty's Cafe, Main Street, Lakin, home of homemade, authentic Mexican food, longtime supporter of Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube, and they'll have us on the monitors tonight in the restaurant. And I wish the club would be open later, and it would be on there as well. And for one, it'd give us a place to go after the game, but not going to happen tonight. But big thanks to Eric Escabel and Shorty's Cafe, Main Street, Lakin. Once again, I'm Brett Hendricks, and now we're joined tonight by my son, Jared Hendricks, on the sideline. And Jared, I don't know if you've got me on here. Lakin has won the toss, and they have deferred their choice and will defend the east goal. And we're about set to go. The flag hanging limp to the east here at the stadium. Going to be a gorgeous night for football right now. 64 degrees here at Lakin. It will cool down as the sun goes down, but a gorgeous night for November 1st for football here in Lakin tonight. We'll go down to the sideline to our sideline reporter and color analyst, Jared Hendricks. Jared, you got me?
Yep, loud and clear.
All right. Time for keys to the game. And with this time of the year, this is week 9, but it is the first round of the playoffs, and I think it's a broken record now. You get to this point of the season. You shouldn't be making mistakes. You're deep enough into the season, but you just want to cut down the mistakes and keep them at a minimum tonight.
Yep, work hard and play as a team and realize that's all you need to do tonight to take care of business. I mean, should be the one thing on their mind.
Grant Mendenhall back in the lineup. He will do the kicking duties for the Broncs as we get set to kick things off here. Brett Hendricks along with Jared Hendricks. Thanks for joining us tonight for Broncs football. Back to receive, number 3, Joey Millspaw. And we are underway. Millspaw fields it at the 11-yard line. Return is out across the 30, and he's piled up at about the 32-yard line, where Halstead will have it 1st and 10. Quarterback Braxton Creed leading the way for the Dragons this year, thrown for 822 yards, 59 of 116. He has thrown for 7 touchdowns, and he's also added 398 on the ground. Give is up the middle to the fullback. That is Reese Carmichael. He'll get up to the 35-yard line, a gain of 3. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7. Dragons come out with receiver split to both sides. Flex bone offense run it just like the Broncs do as well. The pitch to Millspaw around the right side. He's got blockers. Now he's at midfield. One man to beat. He's across the 40 to the 30. And he will score. But there is a flag down at the 40-yard line, so we'll wait and see what the officials have. Joey Millspaw with the 65-yard run, but it's going to be all for naught with the penalty flag on the field. It will be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. That'll back him up to near the 30-yard line. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 12. But definitely a big break for the Broncs there. Bringing back that potential score. Millspaw on the year, 107 carries for 709 yards. Averaging just over 88 yards per game. So Creed brings him to the line. Give is up the middle to Carmichael. He's tripped up. Excuse me, that was Breeson Bigley, not Carmichael. That'll bring up 3rd down and 10 after a gain of 2 yards. Broncs in the all-purple tonight. Halstead in the all-whites. Blue letters and numbers. Working from the pistol, Braxton Creed, straight drop. Now being flushed out of the pocket, Eli Bemis giving chase. He's out across the 30 before he's knocked out of bounds by Ross Ryder. And they'll keep the clock running. Well, the officials were going to run it, but it's stopped here. A short gain on the play. Back to punt, Carlos Martinez. Back to return for the Broncs, Adria Gomez-Escobar, as they run another player on. And they just did get the punt off. I'll tell you what, didn't think they were going to get it. Takes a little bit of a Bronc bounce, and will be down at the Bronc 36-yard line, where Lakin will have it 1st and 10. So the Bronc defense got a break. Erasing the 65-yard touchdown run by Joey Millspaw. And the Broncs will start it off in decent field position at their 36-yard line. Just underway, first quarter. Brett Hendricks along with my son, Jared Hendricks. Glad to have you with us tonight, and a welcome to those that might be viewing that are fans of the Halstead Dragons. I'll try not to be too much of a homer for you, but I am Lakin, so. Flag on the play, and it's offsides against Halstead. That'll bring up a 1st and 5, but I do want to welcome fans of Halstead in to watch the game here tonight. Halstead 3-5 on the year. The Bronc 6-2. Halstead was the number 3 team in their district. The Broncs were the runner-up in District 8. So 1st and 5 for the Broncs. Receiver split to the near side is Adrian Gomez-Escobar. The give is to Oldham. Bounces off the first defender and bounces it out to the 49-yard line. And that will be enough for a 1st down. First and 10 for the Broncs at their 49-yard line. Give us to Oldham. Spins across the 50 into Dragon territory down to the 48-yard line. A gain of 3 yards on the play brings up 2nd down and 7. Once again, gorgeous night for football here in Lakin. Flag just barely waving in the west end zone. 62 degrees right now. Got a text from the guy that's responsible for Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube, J.D. Ham. Give up the middle to Oldham, and he's met there. And met by big number 55, Gage Myers, along with another couple other white shirts, seeing a number 12, Breeson Bigley, coming out of there. So no gain on the play. That brings up 3rd down and 7. But 62 degrees right now. It will definitely cool down some more once that sun goes down, but still a beautiful night for football. Patterson under center, fakes, now straight drop. And the Broncs were setting up the screen pass, and Halstead sniffed it out perfectly. And drew wisely without trying to force something there that wasn't. Throws it in the ground. The Broncs will have to punt. 4th down. Back to punt, Ross Ryder fields it on the hop. And a punt to the left side. Bounced across the 20, and Lakin should have let that one go to see if it would roll another few feet on the AstroTurf. But Halstead will take over 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line. First quarter brought to you by Shorty's Cafe, Main Street, Lakin. Excellent, homemade, authentic Mexican food. 1st and 10 Dragons. Center receiver split to both sides. Millspaw in motion. Give up the middle to Carmichael. Out towards the 23-yard line. In on the stop, Timmy Johnson. Dane White in there as well. Gain of about 4 yards brings up 2nd down and 6. Give to Millspaw across the 25. They'll give him to the 26-yard line. A gain of 2. In on the stop for the Broncs Coulter Oldham. And looked like Ross Ryder in there as well. So gain of 2 on the play brings up 3rd down and 4. Creed from the pistol. Bigley in motion, and Creed will keep it around the near side, and a nice open field tackle by Alex Robles. Robles was back in the starting lineup last week in place of Ross Ryder, and had some great plays last week, and he's carried it on right there. That'll be a loss of 1. That'll bring up 4th down and 5 for the Dragons. But a nice open field tackle. And Halstead from their 25-yard line looks to go for it here on 4th and 5. And it'll be a quick punt. Shaky was back for it, but got a Halstead roll definitely. And they'll down it at the 24. Cohen Corona trying to wave it and blow it a little bit farther, but he covers it up at the Lakin 24-yard line where the Broncs will take over 1st and 10. Want to wish the Bronc cross-country team the best of luck tomorrow at the 3A state meet at Rimrock Farm in Lawrence. Coach Rim Dias and the team there. The start time has been moved up, so if anybody looking to keep track of that tomorrow, the start time's been moved up. Patterson fakes it up the middle. Sidesteps the defender across the 35. He's out to about the 38-yard line. So a nifty run for Drew Patterson. Looks like a gain of 8 to the 37-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down and 2. Nice ball fake by Patterson there. Drew on the season just 22 yards rushing on 7 carries, so doesn't have to get called on to run very often. 2nd and 2. Fake the give to Oldham. They give it to Ross Ryder up the middle off the left side, and he's got enough for a 1st down to the Bronc 44-yard line. In our pregame, Coach Chris Bamberger was worried about Ross Ryder back in the lineup of what he would do when he takes his first hit. Well, he took that one just fine.
Like he never left.
Yes, you're exactly right. Thanks to Jared Hendricks, my son, on the sideline, our color analysis, our color guy, play-by-play, our sideline announcer. Wears a lot of hats. He's also, he's the electronics brains. He's the one that calms me down when I have a problem and I start to panic. Oldham 2 yards up the middle, brings up a 2nd down and 8. And they're going to give him 2 yards to the 46-yard line. No score if you're just joining us. The Dragons have punted twice. The Broncs have punted once. Patterson brings them to the line. Ryder in motion. He takes a pitch around the left side, and he has blockers. Falls across the 50. Brought down by Breeson Bigley. Good play by Bigley. Slipped in behind the defenders. And a gain of about 5. That'll bring up 3rd down and 3 for the Broncs. Play clock at 16 seconds. Drew back to the huddle. Still has plenty of time to get the play off. Adria Gomez Escobar to the near side. You'll hear me call him Shaky once in a while. That's just a childhood nickname, and it's just easy to remember. Patterson give up the middle to Oldham. And on the stop, number 12, Bigley. That's going to take it out near a 1st down, but they've got to get to the 44-yard line of the Dragons, so they're about a half a yard short. So 4th and 1 for the Broncs. I would almost bet they go for it here. I don't even think you have to be a gambler here to think that. And here they come. Shaky wide to the near side. Patterson under center. The give is to Oldham. Nice job of spinning off the defender. He'll be out of just across the 45. In on the stop, Connor Herman and Grayson Swift. And it's a Bronc first down.
Oh, they're only going to carry. Gets us another Lakin first down.
The winner of this contest will advance to next week's regional or quarterfinal, I guess, and that would be either against Beloit or Minneapolis. Give us to Oldham. Following Ken 2 through the line. Going to gain about 3 yards on the play. Brings up second down and 7. Just over 2 minutes remaining in our first quarter. And if you're just joining us, sorry you didn't get the memo that we were starting at 6 o'clock. I like it, and they did it for travel reasons with the long drive for Halstead, but I like it. It's going to get me home early too. Pass, right side. Off the hands of Edric Zorn, and then off the fingertips of Coulter Oldham. Bronc's very lucky there that wasn't a turnover. 3rd and 7 now for the Broncs. So 3rd and 7. Timmy Johnson wide to the left side. Adric to the near side. Armando with the fake, and now a timeout on the field as the play clock was nearing 0. First time out of the half for the Broncs. Once again, our first quarter brought to you by Eric Escobar, Shorty's Cafe on Main Street, Lakin. I always try to call him the home of the Corey Burger, but I don't know that there's anything official, but tell you what, can't pass it up. The Corey Burger, the Torp Burger, just about anything. No Lakin High School band here tonight. I don't know where they're at tonight. They've done a great job all year long. Cassidy Hickok singing of our national anthem pregame. Usually it's the Lakin High School pep band, but Cassidy did a great job. 3rd and 7 for the Broncs at the Halstead 42-yard line. Broncs try the motion fake once again. Halstead not biting on it. Patterson gives it to Oldham. Kicks it out to the 30, the 25, across the 20, still on his feet down to the 15-yard line. They'll give him just inside the 14 before he's tripped up by Bigley. And the Broncs with a huge 3rd down play there have it 1st and 10 right at the Halstead 15-yard line. Ryder in motion, give this to Oldham up the middle. He'll get to the 12. Tripping him up was number 55, Gage Meyer. Gain of about 2 yards brings up 2nd down and 8. And we've got a flag on the play, and I'll tell you what, Patterson did a great job on the bootleg, and he would have had Shaky wide open.
Yeah, I think it was false start on our right guard or tackle. I saw him move.
5-yard penalty brings up 2nd down and 13. Bronx will send 2 to the near side. Timmy Johnson wide to the left side. Patterson roll out to the right side. Complete. Adric with it inside the 10. Forced out of bounds by Corona. It will be short of the 1st down. The Bronx need to get to the 5-yard line. He's down to the 8. That'll bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Bronx. Nice pass by Drew Patterson. And one thing that I liked with Shaky there, it was a hands catch. So many times you see high school players that can't, they'll let the ball come to their body or whatever, but that was just a nice hand catch. And I had my clock stopped, and we've got a whistle and a false start on the Bronx. We have only 4 seconds remaining in our first quarter. I'll reset it. So the 5-yard penalty will back them up. It'll be 3rd and 7 for the Bronx. So I apologize that with our clock. So actually 3rd down and 8 where they've got it placed. And that's the end of our first quarter as they roll the clock. So we've played 12 minutes. We haven't proved a thing. There are still goose eggs on the scoreboard. The Bronx and Halstead scoreless after the first period of play. First quarter brought to you by Shorty's Cafe, Main Street, Lakin. Our second quarter brought to you by Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin of Medill and Thuft.
Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin, is a proud supporter of Lakin High School sports and Lakin USD 215. Matthew has owned his accounting firm since November 2014 and completes tax returns for farm-related activities that include farmers and ranchers' personal tax returns, grow yards, and crop dusters. Matthew is a certified public accountant in charge of raising funds to create an endowment fund for USD 215. Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin.
Welcome back to Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube. Brett Hendricks along with Jared on our sideline. Thanks for joining us for Bronx first round playoff action tonight here on your home for Lakin High School football, Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube. Bronx will have it 3rd down and 8 from the Halstead 13-yard line. Patterson under center. And illegal shift by the Bronx, I believe. Ryder went in motion just before the snap. And the thing about it is he can do that because he's going backwards. But somebody else had to be moving as well. That'll put it back 5 more yards. Now it's a 3rd and 13. Started out at a 3rd and 3, but 2 straight penalties for the Bronx. Ryder in motion. He's got the pitch to the near side. And it'll be brought down by number 55, Gage Meyer. A gain of just a yard on the play. That'll bring up 4th down and 12. We'll see what the Broncs would do here. Normally, Armando Salcido handles the kicking duties for the Broncs, but Grant Mendenhall was on for the opening kick. So I don't know. I know Armando injured an ankle a couple of weeks ago at Colby, and it might still be giving him problems that he's not able to kick. So the Broncs will go for it, 4th down and 12. Oldham, the lone back in the backfield. Patterson back to throw, and he's going to be sacked, and the Broncs will turn it over on downs. Halstead will take over 1st and 10 from their 22-yard line. And I know it's easy to see from up here, but I'll tell you what, if Drew hits Ross Ryder about 10 yards downfield with the seam route and the post route there, that could have been 6 for the Broncs. Pitch is to Millspaw. Plays off the first blocker, gets across the 30, up the sideline before he's finally pushed out of bounds by Ross Ryder. And that'll be a 1st and 10 for the Dragons out over their 40-yard line to the 42. Pitch is to Bigley around the left side, and he's hit and dropped at the 45-yard line by Blair Jones. Bigley with a gain of 4 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 6. Okay. Got a reply when I was wondering where the band was. They've got a lot of members that run cross country, so that was going to shorten up the band, but and that's okay. You know, hey, these kids are active. They are busy in everything. So, but yeah, thanks for the explanation. That's the one thing you do miss at a football game if they're not playing is the pep band. Give off the near side, Millspaw up the near sideline, finally forced out of bounds by Oldham, and he's across into Bronc territory. He'll be out of bounds at the Bronc 36-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Dragons. And the Dragons quick to the line. Give up the middle to Reese Carmichael. Grabbed by Jones and also Ross Ryder. And timeout as a 1st down is picked up by the Dragons. Try to catch my clock up with the scoreboard. I stopped it at the 1st down. It ran a few seconds afterwards, so I tried to get synced back up to it. The Dragons on the move. 1st and 10 at the Bronc 23-yard line. Now the I formation. Give us to Millspaw. He kicks it outside across the 10, and he will score. Millspaw with the 23-yard run. And the Dragons on the board first at 9:25 to go in the 2nd quarter. On for the extra point is Carlos Martinez, and the kick is good. And with 9:25 remaining in our 2nd quarter, it's the Halstead Dragons 7 and your Broncs 0. Dragons take it 78 yards on that drive after holding the Broncs on downs. The Broncs had gotten down to the Halstead 13-yard line before they turned it over on downs. And Joey Millspaw concludes the drive on a 23-yard touchdown run. Second quarter brought to you by Matthew Medill. Kicking for the Dragons will be number 25, Carlos Martinez. Martinez, a junior. Back return for the Bronx, Coulter Oldham and Armando Salcido. Up backs, Adrian Gomez-Escabel and Timmy Johnson. Oldham takes it at the 5, cuts it back up the middle, knocks one of his own defenders out of the way, and he has it out over the 25-yard line. And they'll put him at the 26-yard line where the Bronx will have it 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 Bronx, trailing 7-0. Brett Hendricks along with Jared Hendricks. Thanks for joining us for Bronx football tonight. Bronx send 2 receivers to the near side. Ryder in motion, the fake to Ryder up the middle to Oldham. He'll gain a couple. Leading the way for the Dragons was number 50, Logan Overton. Actually, a gain of about 4 brings up 2nd down and 6. Give us to Oldham off the right side. He's going to get a couple. In on the stop, Carmichael and Overton once again. Picked up a couple. Going to bring up 3rd down and 4. Big possession here for the Bronx after they gave up a touchdown on Halstead's last drive. Inside counter, Ryder wrapped up in the backfield. Leading the way, Colt Schmidt. And Ryder's going to lose 2 yards on the play. That'll bring up 4th down and 6, and the Bronx will have to punt it away. Back to return is Noah Deal. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Ross Ryder to punt for the Bronx. Low snap once again. Ryder has time. High end over end kick. And it'll take a Bronx bounce. And it'll be down by the Bronx at the Halstead 25-yard line. 7:10 remaining in our first half. At halftime, the Lakin dance team, the Lakin cheerleaders will perform at halftime. I think the Lady Bronc volleyball team is going to be introduced at halftime. They saw their season come to an end last week at Sub-State. It's the 1st and 10 Dragons. Millspaw off the left side. Kyle Douglas in on the stop for the Bronx. Gains 5, going to bring up 2nd down and 5. Sun's finally setting here in Lakin. You can tell it's cooling down. People are putting the jackets on. Play clock at 5. And they will call timeout. So Halstead with the timeout. That's their first of the half. And with the timeout, we'll take a break as well. Second quarter brought to you by Matthew Medill.
Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin, is a proud supporter of Lakin High School sports and Lakin USD 215. Matthew has owned his accounting firm since November 2014 and completes tax returns for farm-related activities that include farmers and ranchers' personal tax returns, grow yards, and crop dusters. Matthew is a certified public accountant in charge of raising funds to create an endowment fund for USD 215. Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin.
I want to thank Diego Perez on our camera tonight as well. Done a great job for us all year long. Will be 2nd and 5 for the Eagles from their 30-yard line. 6:24 remaining, actually 6:23 remaining in our first half. Creed on the keeper almost looked to me like a broken play. Either that or a hesitation play, but Creed out on a 4-yard gain brings up 3rd down and 1. The Dragons going with hurry-up offense. And they'll have the first down. Blair Jones in on the stop. Reese Carmichael on the carry. First and 10 from the Dragon 38-yard line. Millspaw with the pitch, brings it near side, hit by Oldham. Norian Cantu in on the play as well. A gain of 1 brings up 2nd down and 9. Clock running at 5:15 to go in our first half. Creed from the pistol. Receiver split both sides. Broncs bring a blitz. Pass was intended for Joey Millspaw, broken up by Timmy Johnson, but Coulter Oldham blew that up. You could see him wanting to blitz and bringing the blitz from the left side. And he knocked the blocker right into Creed and almost got the play.
That was perfect timing right there on Coulter's end.
3rd and 9, 4:49 to go in the half. Haven't gone to the pants yet, Jared? You haven't gone to the pants yet?
Not yet. Halftime for sure.
I would imagine it's getting chilly. Creed, straight drop, sets up the screen pass. Millspaw across the 40 to 45. He has the first down now across midfield, up the far side, and finally run down from behind by Ross Ryder, but not before a huge gain into Bronc territory. First and 10 from the Bronc 23-yard line. Bigley with the toss. Around the left end. He'll pick up maybe 2. Adric and Coulter in on the stop for the Broncs. That'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Give up the middle. Carmichael skips it to the right side, brought down by Timmy Johnson. Going to be a gain of 4, brings up 3rd down and 4 for the Dragons. First ever football meeting between these two schools. The only other meeting I can remember between these two schools was the opening round of the 2007 baseball state championships. Give to Carmichael, looking for space up the middle and nothing doing. Norian Cantu leading the way was Grant Mendenhall. Also coming out of there, Coulter. No gain on the play. That'll bring up 4th down and 4. But, yeah, going back to that baseball state championship, like I said, that was the only time that I think Lakin and Halstead has ever met in any sport other than tonight. On to attempt the field goal is Carlos Martinez. It will be a 34-yard attempt. Good snap. Kick is up.
Field goal brings the Dragons to 10.
And with 1:58 remaining in our first half, the Dragons extend their lead to 10-0. I want to send a shout out to Tracy and Andrea listening. Tracy listening from watching us from Dallas, and Andrea from North Richland Heights. They're watching us every Friday night here on Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. They're from the Dallas area. So glad to have you aboard. Martinez getting set to kick. Oldham and Salcido back deep for the Broncs. Martinez, a high end over end kick. Oldham will field it at the 2-yard line. Looking for Brockers on the right side, tripped up. And we've got a flag on the play. Oldham tripped up across the 20-yard line. And I'm afraid that might be a hold on Lakin. Oh, what? Oh, illegal block in the back against Lakin, but he pointed Halstead at first. So that'll back the Broncs up. They'll have it, looks like around their 10-yard line, 1st and 10. First and 10, 1:51 remaining in our first half. Broncs trailing now 10-0. Once again, want to thank Diego Perez on our camera. And to the near side, nothing doing. Patterson, I didn't start the clock, and we'll run it down. It's under 1:40. But no gain on the play. 2nd down. Fake the pitch to Ryder. Patterson will be brought down in the end zone for a safety. Making the tackle is Connor Herman. So the second quarter, after a scoreless first quarter, the second quarter has not been kind to the Broncs. They now trail it 12-0. And the Broncs will have to free kick it from their own 20-yard line with 1:05 to go in our first half. Grant Mendenhall will kick it from with the tee. Broncs would have the option to punt it if they wanted to. Bigley and Millspaw back to return. And it hits at the 45-yard line. Live play. And picking it up is Noah Deal. He spun away from Timmy Johnson. Deal across midfield and finally taken out of bounds by Adric and a host of purple shirts. So Halstead will have it in good field position starting at about the Bronc, looks like the Bronc 48-yard line. And they will put it at the Bronc 47. Broncs will get the kick to start the second half, but they need a defensive stop here to only go into the break down by 12. Millspaw in motion. Creed with the snap. Runs to the near side. Bemis wrestles him down to the ground, finally at the 41-yard line, but not until he gains 7 yards. 6 yards. Bring up second down and 4. Dragons in a hurry up. 2 receivers split to the near side, 1 to the far side. Creed straight back. And just overthrows the intended receiver. That was Noah Deal. And that'll bring up third down and 4 for the Dragons. 25 seconds remaining in our first half. Play clock down to 5. Creed from the pistol. Rolls out to the left side, a designed run, and will have enough for the first down across the Bronc 40-yard line to the Bronc, across the 35 to the 33. And a timeout on the field by Halstead, their second timeout of the half. Once again, your second quarter brought to you by Matthew Medill. Broncs still have 2 timeouts remaining, but really doesn't matter if they don't get the ball back. But they will get the kick to start the second half. Winner will advance to next week's quarterfinals against either Beloit or Minneapolis. If Beloit wins, it'll be in Beloit. If Minneapolis wins, it will be at the home site of the winner of this contest. So 1st and 10 Dragons from the Bronc 33-yard line. Halstead with 1 timeout remaining, 17 seconds to go in our half. Creed from the pistol, steps up, and the pass is batted down, knocked down by Norian Cantu. Second down. 12 seconds remaining in the half. Creed with the fake, rolling out to the right side, overthrows the intended receiver, and is picked off by Blair Jones. Jones was brought down by Breeson Bigley after the interception. Jones comes up limping, but it'll be 1st and 10 Broncs from their 8-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Broncs at their 8-yard line with 5 seconds remaining. And I would be willing to bet it's a victory formation. They're just going to down it. And they'll go to the halftime break. At the half, the score, Halstead 12 and the Broncs nothing. Your second quarter has been brought to you by Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin.
Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin, is a proud supporter of Lakin High School sports and Lakin USD 215. Matthew has owned his accounting firm since November 2014 and completes tax returns for farm-related activities that include farmers and ranchers' personal tax returns, grow yards, and crop dusters. Matthew is a certified public accountant in charge of raising funds to create an endowment fund for USD 215. Matthew Medill, CPA, Main Street, Lakin.
Our halftime sponsor, the Kearney County Community Development. But before we go to that, well, the thing about it is I'll get in trouble with YouTube if I play the music, so we're going to just keep talking if the music's in the background. And but you can watch the dance routine by the Lakin High School cheerleaders. Our halftime sponsor, the Kearney County Community Development.
Kearney County, a wonderful life opportunity, offers a wide range of opportunities to residents and visitors. Hunting, fishing, camping, golfing, and bowling provide recreation, plus the Lakin Rec Commission provides youth and adult programs in Lakin and Deerfield. Explore the rich history of the county by visiting the Kearney County Historical Museum or the historic sites throughout the county. Take advantage of what Kearney County has to offer. Contact Ralph Goodnight, Kearney County Economic Development, or on the web at www.kearneycountykansas.com.
Our halftime thoughts and recap brought to you by the Lakin Rec Commission, 702 North Campbell in Lakin.
The Lakin Recreation Commission has a full fitness room with 5 treadmills, tread climber, rowing machine, 3 elliptical fitness cross trainers, 2 stationary bikes, and strength training fitness equipment. You'll find just what you need for your own quality workout. The fitness room is open for the public's use free of charge during business hours. For use after business hours, Lakin Rec also has a keyless entry system available. The Lakin Rec Commission, always involved with the youth of Lakin, 702 North Campbell, Lakin, 355-7039. The benefits are endless.
And welcome back to Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. Brett Hendricks with you, along with my son Jared on the sideline. Worth a half. The Broncs trailing Halstead by the score of 12-0. With our halftime thoughts and recap, let's recap what's gone on in the first half. The Broncs and the Dragons played to a scoreless tie after the first 12 minutes, but ever since then, it's been all Dragons. Dragons on the scoreboard with 9:25 remaining in the second quarter on a 23-yard run by Joey Millspaw. And the Carlos Martinez kick was good, making the score 7-0. Martinez added a 33-yard field goal with 1:58 remaining in the half, and that made the score 10-0 in favor of the Dragons. And the Dragons closed out the scoring with a safety by Connor Herman, tackling quarterback Drew Patterson in the end zone with 1:05 remaining in the half. And that's where we stand. The Broncs trailing the Dragons 12-0 here at the break. Our halftime thoughts and recap brought to you by Lakin Rec Commission. And now we're joined by Mr. Mike Coyne. And I'll tell you what, anybody that's ever followed Lakin High School athletics, this is one guy that is at everything. And I think probably next to me, he's the one that's at everything else. But we're going to talk to Mike. Last week, he was presented with we'll just come out. Mike went to his first college football game last week and went to watch KU State, but you were presented with a free room last week, and you got to go enjoy your first ever college game last week. Had to be quite an experience, Mike.
Yeah, it was. It was signed to go, and it was really fun. It's amazing how Kansas State does things. They had their tailgate party and their walk-in, the players walking in. It was really cool. And going in the stadium was really, really awesome.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things that, you may come to a big crowd here and there maybe is 1,000, 1,500 people. You go there's 56,000 people here. Probably by far the most fans and most people you've probably ever seen in one place.
Yeah, it was. It was throughout the game. You had to sit, stand, watch the game, and the only time you could sit is during TV timeouts and referees timeouts, and it was up and down most of the night.
Well, see, that's one of the things. Of course they put seats in there, but I don't know why, because you're standing from the opening kickoff, and it's no different when you go to a pro game or anything like that. But I'll tell you what, I've been to a lot of college games, I've been to a lot of pro games, but there still really is nothing better than a college football atmosphere, because there's just so much going on. You have the band marches in, the players walk in, the introductions and this. I mean, there's just so much going on at a college football game that you almost can't take it all in one afternoon.
No, you can't. When we got there about 11:30 in the morning, and about 2 or 3, we went to the field, and there was a lot of people at the tailgate party, and it was something else to see, and we don't see that in Lakin most of the time.
Well, and you went at 3 o'clock. That's still 4 hours before game time, and that parking lot's full, isn't it?
Yeah, very full, and they have flags, Kansas State flags hanging up, and then about 4:20 we walk over to where the team was walking in and see the players and stuff.
Did you get to meet any of them?
I saw our alum.
Not counting Hadley, because we know you know Hadley. Put that microphone a little bit closer to your mouth there. There you go. But okay, who was the alumni that you saw? Any big name that you know?
I saw nobody really from.
Oh, okay.
The alums that go to school there.
Yeah, okay. Well, when I think of K-State alums, the first one that comes to mind to me like seeing like a Darren Sproles or.
He was there.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was right before the game. He opened the big door so the players can come out.
Oh, okay. All right. So, you ready to go back to another one?
It took me till Wednesday to cover from the trip.
Oh, don't tell me you were tired. Come on, big dog. You got to get off the porch and play with the rest of us.
It was fun, but it was a long weekend.
Oh, hey, time is of the essence, man.
Yeah.
Time doesn't matter when you're going on trips that though. You go, you get up early, you stay up late, you don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You get a chance to recover later, but man, you just enjoy it, take it all in, man.
I did. It was a lot of excitement there, and got to see the Kansas State semi in their trailer, and we walked by their indoor practice facility, and that is pretty huge.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Yep, it sure is. But, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've been to K-State games. I have not been since they have done all the renovations, and, of course, it's the Bill Snyder Family Stadium. But I did go one time. Jared was there for a basketball camp, and they served the meal in one of the suites in the press box, and got to go up there for that. But that was really cool. Of course, the camp was in Bramlage, and which I refer to Allen Fieldhouse West, but I have to be careful now that you're a K-State. You've gone to a K-State game. You probably converted over, didn't you?
No.
No, you didn't? Okay,
No.
so we're still Rock Chalk?
Yeah.
And, hey, out there, K-State fans, don't grill him. Don't grill him. You know, he went to one of your games and had a great time, but, you know. But, yeah, they do have great facilities there, and, you know, and it's really come a long way. I remember going to some old games at Memorial Stadium there in Kansas State, and they didn't have that upper level anymore. It was just that single bowl, and you sat on wood bleachers.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, they've come a long way. But you know, back to the atmosphere. Like I said, you just can't beat it. You know, you walk through you walk through the parking lot, and smells like a big barbecue.
Yeah, a lot of people was cooking hamburgers and chicken and steaks.
Oh, and it's amazing what they bring out. There's some places those people get there early enough they cook up a buffet.
And one thing about their stadium that I liked, on the east side they had a big old speaker on top and had a Wildcat. And every time Kansas State was getting the first down, they made that cat noise.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And that was really cool to hear.
Well, like I said, it's a lot of fun. I've been to a lot of college stadiums. I've been to OU, Nebraska, I've been to Colorado, KU, K-State. It's a lot of fun. And, you know, and it's no secret. I'm a KU fan, but I've gone to K-State games and enjoyed them. And, of course, got a text from Ralph Goodnight. He's giving me a hard time, but Ralph and I have been to a number of K-State games and had a great time. But, you know, back when Ralph and I would go to games, we could pull up to the stadium and get a ticket. You can't even get in the parking lot anymore. So, you know, those games are sold out, and it's a sold-out crowd. But and back then they were still good. You know, Bill Snyder was there. They were a good football team, but you could walk up and get tickets for fairly cheap, and that don't happen no more. K-State's they're definitely on the national map, and and of course your ticket was I'm going to say compliments of Mr. Panzer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I know you probably you got to see players come in, come out, went to the player tunnel at the end, but I'm sure you got to hang out with Hadley a little bit there at the stadium as well.
Before the game.
Oh, okay.
And then after the game, we kind of hang out, and we was hanging out, and then we went to my motel and got out and took a picture of me and him, and I told him thank you very much.
And then you went to Aggieville.
No.
Oh man.
No, we didn't go.
Okay, you've got to go back to Manhattan. You can't take a trip to Manhattan and it's not complete until you go to Aggieville.
Well, I had writers. They was taking care of me.
Yeah. Well, you should have said, "Hey, come on, I'll buy." Oh shoot! So no cops involved. Didn't have to bail you out.
No.
You stayed pretty.
I didn't really.
You're a good boy.
I didn't really cheer loud or anything. And I did saw a KU fan and a Kansas State fan getting into it after the game. That was something wild and crazy.
Oh yeah, well I can imagine. You know that's a long-time rivalry with those two schools. And I tell you what, you want to ever see a game where fans go at it, go to a Chiefs-Raiders game.
I can imagine that.
Yeah, Chiefs-Raiders games, they do not like each other. And I went to a game one time, and my wife Sandy doesn't go to games much anymore, but she did go to one, and she said the one thing she'll always remember about Raiders games is there was a fight over to the right of us. We had lower level seats on about the 35-yard line, 30-yard line, and we looked over and there was a fight, and I swear to God, it was a girl beating up on a dude. I mean, she was just wailing on him. He was a Raiders fan, she was a Chiefs fan, and she was wailing on him. I'll never forget that one. And she got a big ovation when they walked her out. But I tell you what, she earned that one.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy seeing KU fans and Kansas State fans go at it. And I turn around, say something to Nelson, and I go, man, that's more like Lakin and Holcomb rival.
You know what?
Back in the 90s and the 80s.
Yep. And that's what rivalries are all about. You know, you get teams that just don't like each other, and like I said, that's for Sunflower State rights. So thing about it is, it's more of a rivalry when the other team can slip a win in there occasionally. And KU, man, they had them on the ropes, let them off the other night with that late fumble. But it's not usually a rivalry too much when it's dominated by one side. But yeah, and and I'll tell you what, I'm glad. Glad you got to go. It was a great experience for you. We've got a halftime score from Hugoton. Hugoton up on Chaparral, 27-0.
What is Holcomb and Marysville doing?
I have not heard a Holcomb update right now. Boy, what you talk about a long trip to Manhattan. How'd you like be Marysville coming out to Holcomb today?
That's
like a 5-hour trip, I think.
Yeah, I heard they left about 9 or 10 today.
Yeah, well, I guarantee you'd have to. But you'd have to get out and stretch and keep them moving so you don't get stoved up on the trip. That's for sure.
They had at Kansas State game, KU's band was there, and that was pretty cool. Watched both bands during halftime, and it's pretty cool how they do it on TV games. They have it like a little plastic screen with the time. They have it on the field.
Oh, yep.
And let everybody know how much time you have for a timeout.
Yeah, they have a little bit more money than what we do here on the local level, huh?
Yeah. They're big leagues.
Yeah, well, they probably have a donor that says, how much you need? Yeah, may not even have to write a check. They pull it out of their front pocket. Kind of like you. All that money you got. Oh, yeah, but like I said, I was happy you got to go, and I was just checking the reply I sent them that we were down 12-0 at halftime, but
we need to score here.
Yes, we do. The second quarter was not very kind to us, was it?
No, we need to score and get our crowd into it.
Yes. So you think you'll ever go back to another one?
Yeah.
Will you?
And honestly, Brett, that's my second college game.
Oh, was it? Okay.
My senior year in Lakin, we went to Air Force.
Air Force, the old football trips. Yeah, Jared, you got in on some of those, didn't you?
We went to Air Force my senior year, and we watched Air Force and Colorado State.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, and don't ask me who won that. I don't remember. But
well, come on, you're supposed to remember stuff like that.
But our football trip to Colorado Springs was pretty cool too.
Yeah, that would be fun.
But it's not like Kansas State.
The one thing that's fun with Air Force games, and I have been to one of them before, but the planes flying around.
Yeah.
You got the gliders that are flying around, and once in a while you may get a jet fly over or something like that, but that is really cool too. And you know what? There's nothing like the pageantry of your military.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of extracurricular stuff that goes on in an Air Force game. I mean, those guys are disciplined, and it's cool. It's really cool. So yeah, I had forgotten about that. Yeah, I forgot about the Air Force trips because they don't do it anymore, or they haven't for the last couple of years. And but yeah. But nothing like K-State, though, huh?
No.
Yeah, and I'm not going to get to a college game this year, but I'm going to Arrowhead on Monday, baby.
Yeah.
Going to Arrowhead.
I heard stories about that place.
Well, that's the type of tailgate you see at K-State, and you take it up another notch. There's 78,000 people there. But going to be a lot of fun. Go watch the Chiefs play on Monday night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that's just something you'll have to do someday. Take in one of those.
Yep.
Yeah, if you go to a Chiefs game, then you can't give me no crap about being a Chiefs fan anymore.
I don't give you
hard time. You give me a hard time all the time.
No.
You give me a hard time just because the sun comes up in the morning.
No.
Oh, shoot. Well, the Broncs back out on the field. Dragons, you can see on our screen, back out on the field just under 2 minutes to go before we kick things off in our second half. Our halftime interview has been brought to you by the Lakin Rec Commission. We'll be back right after this.
It's time to get involved with the Lakin Recreation Commission, 702 North Campbell in Lakin. The Lakin Rec Commission with Wellness Center, aerobics, adult programs, youth programs, sewing, and more. For more information about all the great activities of the Lakin Rec Commission, call 620-355-7039. The Lakin Recreation Commission, providing recreational opportunities to enhance the quality of life for the people of the community by promoting social interaction and the productive use of leisure time.
Welcome back to Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. Brett Hendricks with you. We're at the half. Broncs trailing the Halstead Dragons by the score of 12-0. And I want to thank Big Michael Coyne, for joining us here at the half and telling us about his trip to Manhattan, and got a chance to see Hadley Panzer, Lakin graduate offensive lineman for the Wildcats. But Mike, had fun, man. Thanks for coming up.
No problem.
I finally got you on the microphone after all those times I say, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. The guy that talks all the time would never come up and talk to me. And now here you are.
Well, I didn't see you all weekend, so I usually...
Yeah, we usually get a chance to visit during the week, but we didn't get that opportunity this week. But we made up for lost time here tonight. So, Mike, enjoy the second half, and thanks for talking with us. We'll catch you later.
All right.
All right, that was fun. Our halftime has been brought to you by the Kearney County Community Development. Ralph, good night.
Kearney County, a wonderful life opportunity, offers a wide range of opportunities to residents and visitors. Hunting, fishing, camping, golfing, and bowling provide recreation, plus the Lakin Rec Commission provides youth and adult programs in Lakin and Deerfield. Explore the rich history of the county by visiting the Kearney County Historical Museum or the historic sites throughout the county. Take advantage of what Kearney County has to offer. Contact Ralph Goodnight, Kearney County Economic Development, or on the web at www.kearneycountykansas.com.
And welcome back to Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube, LakinSports.com. Thanks to Mike to come up and visit with us at halftime, and that was fun. And I'll tell you what, I would like to have just followed him around at K-State, because I can remember my first times at places like that, and I'm getting older, and I'm still wide-eyed when I see a stadium. I rubberneck every time I drive by a stadium. It doesn't matter whose it is, and it's fun to see how big those facilities are. And like I told Mike, I'm going to Arrowhead this Monday for the Chiefs Monday night game, and it's one of those. Every time I see it, I cannot take my eyes off of it. It just enjoys it. But just a lot of fun. So I'm glad he had a great time. And once again, an update from Hugoton. That's the only score I've seen so far. Hugoton up 27-0 over Chaparral. And our score here at the half, Halstead 12 into Bronx nothing. Lakin will receive the kickoff to start our second half. And talking about our second half, our third quarter brought to you by KCB Bank of Lakin and Garden City.
Rural communities are known for their unequaled support of their hometown sports teams. KCB Bank can help you take it to the next level. We now offer Hometown School Pride debit cards, and these cards feature your hometown team mascot so you can show your pride each time you buy something. The best part, they're made right here on site, so there's no waiting for one to come in the mail. Get in touch with us right now and let us help you show your hometown pride. KCB Bank, with 3 locations, Garden City, Lakin, and on the web under your favorite search engine. Member FDIC.
So visit them at the KCB Bank and get your Lakin Bronc debit card. I'm there all the time, and I have never yet gotten one. And they'll do it while you wait. But I'm there more in the drive-thru than I am going inside. But they'll make you one. I still need to do that, and I will. I just, it's one of those things I think about it this minute, and I blink, and I forget about it the next minute. We're about set to go. Second half kickoff. Your third quarter brought to you by the KCB Bank. I want to thank all the great sponsors to make Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube possible in our 18th year of bringing you Lakin High School sports and activities. Been doing it parts of 20 years, and mentioned Ralph Goodnight's name earlier, and because of Ralph meeting J.D. Ham 20 years ago is why we're here today. If that meeting would never have taken place, kind of hard to think. Would have been no Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube or LakinSports.com. And kind of interesting. Martinez back to kick for the Dragons. High end-over-end kick, short, hits at the 12. Oldham fields it at the 10 and brings it to the near side, looking for a block. Kicks it outside at the 30 to the 35. Still on his feet at the 40 across midfield, and still on his feet across the 45 before he's finally brought down by Breeson Bigley. So a good return by Coulter Oldham to start this second half. Broncs will have great starting field position at the Halstead 47-yard line. First and 10 Broncs as we start our second half. Brett and Jared with you. Sandy here taking pictures as well. She'll have those on LakinSports.com Facebook page. Give this to Oldham off the right side. He's out across the 40, across the 35. He'll get to the 34-yard line. Logan Overton on the stop for the Dragons. Second down and 2. Broncs got deep in Dragon territory in the second quarter and could not punch it in. They got as close to the 13, but a couple 5-yard penalties backed them up and unable to get any points out of it. Oldham off the left side will gain 1 yard on the play. That'll bring up third down and 1. And after turning it over on downs, the Dragons went on a 76-yard drive, capped off by a 23-yard Joey Millspaw touchdown run. So 3rd and 1 for the Broncs from the Dragon 32-yard line. Give this to Oldham. And he's across the 20, the 10, 5, and touchdown. Coulter Oldham with a 32-yard touchdown run for the Broncs. So a minute and a half into the third quarter, the Broncs erase the goose egg. And they will line up and go for 2. Give us to Coulter up the middle, and he will be stopped short. And with 10.5 to go in our third quarter, the Broncs on the board, and they trail it by the score of 12-6. Started out, it was 64 degrees at kick. Now it's down to 52. Really not much of a breeze, but once it starts getting to the 50 and below mark, even the slightest breeze will chill it down. Once again, I want to thank all the great sponsors that make it possible for us here on Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. Been over 18 years worth. We got to thank everybody that's joined us. It's been fun to visit with you, talk to you on Friday nights, Tuesday nights. Been a lot of fun. Mendenhall to kick for the Broncs. Short end over end kick. Taken by Bigley. And he has it up the middle across the 30, out across the 40, now to midfield. And he's still on his feet up the far sideline before he's forced out of bounds by Timmy Johnson. So a big return for Bigley puts Halstead in great starting field position at the Bronc 32-yard line. Oldham with a big return to open the second half put the Broncs in great field position. And Breeson Bigley doing the same for Halstead. The 1st and 10 from the Bronc 32-yard line. The officials are talking about something there. I'm not sure what the issue is. There's no flag on the play, or at least I can't see one. And Lakin will be called for tripping. So it'll be marked off from the 32-yard line. Never saw a flag. Oh, there's the flag. No, they're tossing in a football. Yeah, there's the flag. The flag was on the sideline on the other side. It was among the Halstead players, so. The tripping called against the Broncs, and that's a big one. That's a 15-yarder. That's going to take it down to the Bronc 15. Looks like they'll put it at the 17-yard line. So a huge return by Breeson Bigley. And the big penalty for the Broncs. 1st and 10, Halstead from the Bronc 15. Millspaw lines up in the eye, and he has it up the middle. Timmy Johnson wraps him up. Millspaw will carry the pile to the 15-yard line for a gain of 2. Ken 2 in on the stop for the Broncs. Kyle Douglas in as well. Gain of 2 yards on the play brings up 2nd down and 8. Give us to Carmichael off the left side. Ken 2 once again on the stop for Lakin. Down to the 13-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6 after a gain of 2. Millspaw switched directions, took it up the middle. He was met by Eli Bemis along with Norian Cantu and Ross Ryder. Will gain a yard on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5. Excuse me, a 4th and 5 for the Dragons. Apologize for that. Forgot to hit send on my scoreboard. So a 29-yard field goal attempt is good. So a 29-yard field goal by Carlos Martinez. Makes it a 9-point game. Dragons leading at 15-6. Good job by the Bronc defense just to give up 3 there, because Halstead, their starting field position, they had it 1st and 10 at the Bronc 15-yard line. Oldham and Salcedo back to return for the Broncs once again. Carlos Martinez to kick it off. I'll tell you what, a strong field goal kicker is a strong asset to have. So many times, especially with smaller schools, you don't always see a kick specialist, but I would imagine that's the only job that Carlos Martinez is expected to do, and that's to kick the football, and he does a great job with it. Short end-over-end kick taken by an up man. That was shaky across the 30, and it'll be thrown down at the 32-yard line. One of the numbers for Halstead, I'm trying to pick it out, and on the stop, and that was Cohen Corona, number 2. So 1st and 10 Broncs from their 31-yard line. Halstead leading 15-6. Timmy Johnson split to the near side. Patterson under center. Ryder in motion, and the give is to Oldham. Slips inside the defender. He's out across the 40, and will have enough for the first down. In on the stop, number 78, Kerr Faudel. The 1st and 10 Broncs at their 43-yard line after a gain of 12. Once again, Brett Hendricks along with Jared Hendricks on the sideline. Thanks for joining us tonight for Broncs football. And welcome in Halstead fans that are getting the opportunity to watch the game tonight. Glad we're able to do it for you. Give up the middle to Oldham. He'll get 2 yards. Wheeled down by Kurt Faudel and Gage Meyer. Gain of, we'll say 2, call it 2nd down and 8. Give is to Oldham. He'll gain 2 more. Creed in on the pile. Leading the way was Reese Carmichael. That'll bring up 3rd down and 6 after a gain of 2 for Oldham. 3rd down and 4. Excuse me, I said 3rd and 6. He gained 4 there, so it's going to be 3rd and 4. I was never known as a math major. Patterson fakes the give up the middle, has it around the right side. He's across midfield and will have the first down before he's brought down by Millspaw. Excuse me, that was Noah Deal on the stop.
Well, that was a good fake because Coulter got planted in the backfield there.
And, we've seen that. Patterson throughout the year has done a lot better job of that fake and able to hide that football.
Yeah, he did a great job there. Needed those yards.
1st and 10 from the Halstead 42-yard line. Gain of 15 yards on the play for Drew Patterson. Give us to Oldham. Oldham trailing the lead blocker, and that was Dane White. He'll get it across the 40 to the 39-yard line. A gain of 3 brings up 2nd down and 7. Clock running at 5:45 to go in our 3rd quarter. Halstead led 12-0 at the end of the first half. Fake to Coulter, pitch to Ryder. Ryder across the 35, brought down by Breeson Bigley. Be just short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 2, so a gain of 5 on the play for Ross Ryder. Bronx will send Adric Gomez-Escobel wide to the right. Give us to Oldham. Skips away from the first defender. He's still on his feet across the 25. He bounced off 2 players and will have enough for the first down. Finally there to bring him down was Logan Overton. But the Bronx with a nice drive here, starting at their own 31. They have it 1st and 10 at the Dragon 24-yard line. Oldham with a gain of 10 on that last carry. I don't keep live stats. I've got enough to do up here by myself, but I would venture to say Oldham with his game so far is getting close to 1,000 yards on the season. He came in 111 yards shy of it. And he's definitely been the workhorse tonight for the Bronx. Gain of a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9. Salcedo in motion. Counter to Ryder. He cut it back up the middle. Met for a short gain. Faudel in on the stop, along with Carmichael. Short gain of 1 brings up 3rd down and 8 for the Bronx. Patterson rolls out, almost picked off. The ball was batted by Connor Herman, and he almost picked it out of the air. Big play for the Dragons there because Oldham would have had enough for the first down. He was wide open in the flat. And that'll bring up 4th and 8 for the Bronx. Fourth and 8. Patterson back to throw. Complete to the right side. Ryder couldn't stay in bounds, but he has enough for the first down. The Bronx with the first down. Now at the Halstead 12-yard line, so gain of 11 on the play. Ryder tried to tiptoe the sideline, but couldn't stay in bounds. Possibly could have scored on the play, but it's 1st and 10 for the Bronx. Give us to Oldham, and he's met in the backfield by Overton. He'll lose 2 yards on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 12. Oldham in motion. Give us to Ryder. He'll cut it up the middle. And you'll get to the Dragon 5-yard line. They'll be short of the first down.
Brings up third down.
They get to the 6-yard line. A gain of 6 on the play. That'll bring up, I must have had something wrong here. Third and about, maybe long 3, short 4. Pitch to Ryder. Spins off the defender, gets to the 10. He's going to lose 4. And for the Broncs, another big 4th down play coming up here. So 4th and about 8 for the Broncs here. 50 seconds remaining in our third quarter. Ryder in motion, fake to Patterson with the fake. And it's going to fall incomplete, overthrowing Timmy Johnson at the goal line. And Halstead will take over on downs. 1st and 10 from there, looks like the 10-yard line, maybe the 11. And they will put it at the 11-yard line. So Halstead holding Lakin on downs there. And it's time for the Bronc defense to step up here. Don't want to give up an 89-yard drive here. Gave up a 76-yard drive on the last time they gave it up on downs in Halstead territory. Millspaw off the left side. Douglas and Cantu in on the stop for Lakin. Gain of almost 4 yards. We'll call it 2nd down and 6. Halstead most likely looking like they're going to let this clock run down. Our third quarter has been brought to you by the KCB Bank, Lakin and Garden City. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this.
Rural communities are known for their unequaled support of their hometown sports teams. KCB Bank can help you take it to the next level. We now offer Hometown School Pride debit cards, and these cards feature your hometown team mascot so you can show your pride each time you buy something. The best part, they're made right here on site, so there's no waiting for one to come in the mail. Get in touch with us right now and let us help you show your hometown pride. KCB Bank, with 3 locations, Garden City, Lakin, and on the web under your favorite search engine. Member FDIC.
Our fourth quarter brought to you by Flashbacks Diner.
Flashback to the days of Bebop and Bobby Sox at Flashbacks Diner, Highway 50, Lakin. Fantastic burgers, Coney and Chicago hot dogs, Philly, steak, BLT, and chicken sandwiches, along with ice cream treats like the traditional banana split, sundaes, shakes, malts, and cones. Dine in or carry out. Flashback to the days of Bebop and Bobby Sox at the one and only fantastic Flashbacks Diner, Highway 50, Lakin.
Once again, want to thank Flashbacks Diner and all of the great sponsors that make Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube possible. If it wasn't for them, we would not be in our 18th year. Starting our fourth quarter, it will be 2nd down and about 6 yards for the Dragons from just outside their 15-yard line. Keyston Shields split to the near side. Braxton Creed from the gun. And he'll hand it off to Millspaw. We do have a flag on the play. Millspaw out across the 30 looking for room. And he'll be out across the 35. Finally brought down by Eli Bemis. And you could hear some groans about maybe a late hit. But Millspaw was still on his feet. But I think it's coming back, and it's a hold against the Dragons. So a 10-yard penalty, or let's see if they may go half the distance where it's inside the 20. And they'll take it back to the Halstead 12-yard line. It'll remain second down, but it'll be 2nd and 14. And we've got a break in the action, a whistle. And they mismarked it. I was thinking it would have gone half the distance. So they'll move it back out, and it'll be 2nd down and 7. No, now they're going to. Okay, they got me moving all over the place. Now 2nd down and 11. So here we go, 2nd and 11 from the 9-yard line. Bigley with it around the near side. He's across midfield, and he's going to score. He stayed in bounds, and Bigley will score from 91 yards out. Breeson Bigley with the 91-yard touchdown run. Wow. And that one definitely silenced the crowd here. Martinez on to attempt the extra point. Kick is up and good. And we've got whistles. We'll see what we have here. Teams head to the sidelines, but as the officials confer, dead ball personal foul against Lakin. Yeah, we don't need that. I know it may be some frustration, but we don't need that at this point in time. So with 11:20 to go in the fourth quarter, the score now, Halstead 22, Lakin 6. I want to thank Diego Perez on our camera tonight. He's done a great job for us all season long. I want to thank Jared for, he's the one that braves the elements. It's down to 53 degrees, and you even got the gloves on now. You haven't been very chatty tonight. What's the deal?
It's hard to turn on this mic with these big gloves.
I bet so.
Yeah, so hopefully I don't accidentally leave it on.
Well, you know what? If you hold it down, if you even put it in your pocket, I don't even think I'd hear anything even in your pocket if you leave it on.
Maybe not.
You're just going to run down my batteries.
Yeah, no kidding. I just keep turning it off, so don't worry.
So the 15-yard penalty, Martinez will kick it from the Lakin 45-yard line. High end over and kick into the end zone for a touchback. I was curious just to see if maybe he could make it from there. That would have been 55 yards worth, but I'll tell you what, he's got a strong leg and he's a good-looking kicker. Kicks the ball really well. It'd been cool to see him kick it through the uprights. So 1st and 10 Broncs from the 20-yard line. Broncs have turned it over on downs twice deep in Halstead territory. Here they need to make the drive count. Play clock down to 9. That's the Bronx break huddle. They should still get it off, and they do. Give us to Oldham up the middle, nothing doing. No gain on the play. Halstead with a gang tackle of white shirts. Carmichael and Overton coming out of the pile, 2 of the numbers that I recognized. 2nd down and 10 for the Bronx in the 4th quarter. Huge drive here, huge possession for the Bronx here. 10:45 remaining. Fake to Oldham, pitch to Ross Ryder. And Halstead sniffing that one out as well. Joey Millspaw leading the way for the white shirts. And that'll be a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 12. Have not heard any scores in the area other than Hugoton was up on Chaparral 27-0 at halftime. That was a game of last place finishers in their districts, so not any bracket game. Patterson drops the snap but picks it up, fires near side to Ryder. It's complete to the 30, and he's brought down by Millspaw, and he'll have enough for a 1st down at the Bronc 32-yard line. Nice throw by Patterson. Nice play there for the 1st down. Patterson under center, the pitch to Ryder, and nothing doing. Chasing him down was number 55, Gage Meyer. So a loss of about 3 yards on the play brings up 2nd down and 13 for the Bronx. Clock running just over 9 minutes. Halstead right now, their defensive front 7, they're just pinning the ears back and they're going. And you know what? With a 16-point lead, why wouldn't you? Pitch to Salcedo. Has it out to the near side. He's across the 35, run out of bounds at about the 40. They'll put him at the 39-yard line. That'll leave a 3rd down and 3 for the Bronx after a gain of 10 on that play for Armando Salcedo. Pretty much a make or break drive for the Bronx. They have to come away with points here, trailing by 16. 8:45 on the clock. Give up the middle to Coulter Oldham. He'll have enough for the 1st down, I believe. Depends on where they put it. Oh, they're going to put it back to the 41. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 1. So a gain of 2 yards on the play. I thought he had well enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, not a very good spot. Because I was watching right down the line here, and I definitely thought he got to the 42 or more.
I thought maybe he did too.
Doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah, Coulter will pick up the 1st down off the right side as he gets across the 45.
I kind of noticed that a couple times tonight where they haven't spotted it correctly, at least to my eyes. Because even on that Chakey's touchdown catch there earlier, forward progress was up 2 yards. He got tackled 2 yards back out of bounds, and then they put him where he went out of bounds.
Timeout. Bronx with a player down. And that looks like Lucas McCombs down on the field. But the Bronx do pick up the 1st down. 8:25 remaining in the 4th quarter. I don't know. Is the way they're maybe looking, pulling his toe, are they stretching a cramp or something maybe? Don't want to really speculate, but and they will help him to his feet. So give a hand for Lucas McCombs. Favoring that left leg, but he's walking off under his own power. That's good to see. So 1st and 10 Broncs from their 46. Give us to Ryder off the left side. He's across midfield to the Halstead 49-yard line. He'll gain 5 on the play, brings up 2nd down and 5. Salcido in motion, Patterson straight drop. And that's going to be picked off. With the interception is Breeson Bigley. And Halstead will take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line, 7:43 to go. Give to Carmichael. Spins away from the first offender. That was Kyle Douglas. Spun off the ball carrier. He's able to fight across the 30-yard line to the 32. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 4 after a gain of 6. Got a Scott City update. Scott City over Clearwater 14-7 at halftime. And I kind of have to remember, though, this game started an hour earlier than everybody else, so that's why I wasn't seeing any updates at halftime of our contest, because it's just now halftime at some of those other locations. Give is to Bigley, dragging defenders to the near side, and they'll say he's inbounds and the clock runs. Forced out of bounds by Shaky. Mendenhall over there in the area as well. Going to be a gain of 5, brings up 3rd down and 1.
How is he ruled inbounds if he's getting taken out of bounds?
I'm not real sure how they do that. I mean, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how they really do it, because, in a situation like that, he's going to give himself up to basically stay in bounds. But it may be where the official says, hey, forward progress right here.
I was going to say, because those feet never stopped going for him.
Yeah.
He stayed pretty low and kept going.
Quarterback keeper by Braxton Creed. He'll get the 1st down to the 38-yard line. But, yeah, like I said, I think it's a lot of times maybe the official just calls forward progress. Because like you said, feet are still moving, but he was actually at the point of contact. He was moving laterally, so, yeah, I guess. I've always kind of wondered that sometimes, how they figure that out, but. Clock running at 5:42. 1st and 10, Dragons. Millspaw in motion, takes the pitch around the right side, cuts it back inside, and will be tripped up by Shaky. He'll be out to the 44-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play, brings up 2nd down and 5. Halstead in really no hurry, but they're going to have to hurry it up now. Creed just getting to the huddle at 9 seconds on the play clock. Now it's down to 5. They may have to burn one, and they do. I was going to say seems to me like Braxton Creed has done a really good job of managing the clock tonight. You know, their offense is never in a panic. They come to the line of scrimmage. Most of the time, even in the first half when the game was tight, you know, he worked that play clock down to 2-3 seconds on it. But right there, they spent just a little bit too much time trying to get that play in. So first called timeout by Halstead here in this second half. 4:49 remaining. Our fourth quarter brought to you by Flashbacks Diner.
Keep up with everything with the Broncs. Check out Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Check in for Lakin Broncs and the other site.
So second down and 5 from the Halstead 44-yard line. Corona goes split to the right side. Up the middle, Carmichael, he's across midfield. He'll have the first down into Bronc territory out at the Bronc 44-yard line. Another score, Wichita Collegiate 62, Colby 0 at the end of the third quarter. Wow. Thanks to Mike Helberg with the updates. Mike, hadn't heard from you for a while, man. Welcome on. Good to hear from you. First and 10, Dragons from the Lakin 44. Give to Millspaw. Halstead pushing the pile. Play still going on across the 35, and it's a first down. Leading the way was 56, Connor Herman, and 62, Justin Burgess. And, man, they just kept that pile going. You know, the officials trying to wave the clock started, and there we go. After I'd already started it. Now, let's see here. Now I'm with the game clock. 3:42 remaining in the ball game. Barring a miracle, the Broncs are going to see. Okay, now, Mike, I hadn't heard from you for a while. Then you send me something like that. Millspaw off the right side. Met by Ryder. And Jaden Johnson. Broncs with the timeout. They're first. 3:20 remaining. He says Broncos beating the Chiefs next Sunday. You know what? I'm going to disagree with you there, but I will give you credit. Broncos have been playing good football. But that's as good as I can do. That's all I can do. Fourth quarter brought to you by Flashbacks Diner. Our post-game thoughts and recap and our coaches interview by Hendricks Welding. And our player of the game, sponsored by D-Bach Metals. And I did not grab any medallions from Dwayne this week, so we'll have to owe the player of the game a player of the game medallion. But a big thank you to Dwayne Bachman, cutting those out every year for us to present to the player of the game. But I know the kids love them. They're excited when they get it. 1st and 10. Give up the middle to Carmichael. Jaden Johnson on the stop for the Broncs. Another Bronc timeout. 3:12 on the clock. Let's see, it's going to be 3rd down and about 3. I didn't update the last play. So 3rd and 3 for the Dragons. Broncs down to 1 timeout remaining. Wow, just 8 o'clock. Hard to look down there. It seems like it's a lot later, but the hour earlier start time. I'll spit it out eventually.
Sometime today, Junior.
Yeah, well. .312 remaining in what possibly is the last .312 of the Broncs 2024 football season. 3rd and 3 for the Dragons at the Bronc 26-yard line. Creed keeps it up the middle. And we'll see where they spot it. Lakin will call their 3rd and final timeout. It's going to be, by the way they place the sticks, is it, my goodness, is it just 4th and inches? So I kind of thought they might maybe call for a measurement here, but it's going to be 4th and inches for the Dragons. And the Bronx season pretty much hanging right here. They hold them here. They still have a chance. They're still breathing, although maybe on life support. But a 1st down here pretty much can ice it for the Dragons. 4th and inches. Creed under center. And they tried to draw the Broncs off. Now,
isn't that a legal shift because both of them moved
well,
at the same time?
And a timeout called by Halstead. But the thing that gets me on that play, and the only thing that makes that legal, if Creed goes up underneath center with his hands, he cannot do that.
Yeah.
So he may have just been sitting there with his hands, on his knees. Because I think that's right. But yeah, it wouldn't be 2 men in motion because it'd have to be 2 in motion at the snap.
Yeah.
But like I said, the only way I think that's possible is if he wasn't up under center with the hands. But and the give up the middle will be good for a touchdown. A 23-yard run will ice it for the Dragons. Martinez on with the extra point, and the kick is good.
Lakin Bronc 6, Halstead Dragons 29.
And with that, our fourth quarter brought to you by Flashbacks Diner. We'll take a break. We'll be back.
Flashback to the days of Bebop and Bobby Socks at Flashbacks Diner, Highway 50, Lakin. Fantastic burgers, Coney and Chicago hot dogs, Philly, steak, BLT, and chicken sandwiches, along with ice cream treats like the traditional banana split, sundaes, shakes, malts, and cones. Dine in or carry out. Flashback to the days of Bebop and Bobby Socks at the one and only fantastic Flashbacks Diner, Highway 50, Lakin.
Welcome back to Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. Brett along with Jared. 2:55 remaining. Halstead now on top of the Bronx 29-6. Got an update from Holcomb. Holcomb defeated Marysville by the score of 12-7. Thank you to JD for that update. Carlos Martinez to kick it off. Short kickoff. And Halstead with the recovery. And fortunate for the Bronx that can't be returned, or Corona would have had a onside kick return for a touchdown. So Halstead now will have it 1st and 10 at the Bronx 35-yard line, 2:55 remaining. And it's nothing but victory formation now for the Dragons as they will advance to next week's quarterfinals against either Beloit or Minneapolis, and the Bronx are going to see their season end. And they'll finish with a 5-3 record. Been a good season, just not to be tonight. And so much for victory formation. Carmichael's spinning off of tackles, and he almost takes it to the house. That'll be 1st and goal from the Bronc 1. First and goal, and Creed will punch it over from the 1. And Martinez kick is good.
And the touchdown at the extra point is good. Lakin Bronc 6, Halstead Dragons 36.
Halstead will see their record improve to 4-5. The Bronc season will end at 5-3. Scoreless at the end of the first period. It was a 12-0 lead by Halstead at the half. Bronx did cut it to 12-6 on a Coulter Oldham 32-yard run. And it's been all Halstead from there. So as they lead it now by the score of 36-6. Now on to kick, Carlos Martinez on to kick for Halstead. And another short end over end kick, and they better get on it, but it does roll out of bounds. Exact same thing they did from the last kick, but the Bronx, nobody was in the vicinity really. So it'll be 1st and 10 Lakin. Oldham with it. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. Bronx out of timeouts. Patterson rolls to the right side, keeps it across the 35, out across the 40. He will have enough for the 1st down. Spun down by Brock Odendahl. First and 10, Bronx from the Lakin 45-yard line. And the Bronx are going to substitute and give 3 seniors their due. Ross Ryder, Armando Salcedo, and Coulter Oldham will come off the field for the final time in their career. Patterson give up the middle. Out to midfield. I didn't see who had it. Oh, that was Weston Lepke out to midfield. And the Bronx will substitute some more. Off comes Shaky, Grant Mendenhall, Thomas Peters, Drew Patterson. And they get a standing ovation from the crowd as they come off the field. 18 seconds to go in their season. Reed Bemis on. Will hand it to Lepke. And he's up to the 46-yard line with 5 seconds to go. And that's going to do it. Congratulations to the Halstead Dragons. They will advance to next week's quarterfinals against either Beloit or Minneapolis as they win it tonight by the score of 36-30. Our 4th quarter has been brought to you by Flashbacks Diner. We'll be back after this.
Flashback to the days of Bebop and Bobby Socks at Flashbacks Diner, Highway 50, Lakin. Fantastic burgers, Coney and Chicago hot dogs, Philly, steak, BLT, and chicken sandwiches, along with ice cream treats like the traditional banana split, sundaes, shakes, malts, and cones. Dine in or carry out. Flashback to the days of Bebop and Bobby Sox at the one and only fantastic Flashbacks Diner, Highway 50 Lakin.
Our post-game thoughts and recap brought to you by Hendricks Welding.
Oh, this stupid man.
When it's time to do that welding, don't do it yourself and make a mess out of it. Call Hendricks Professional Welding Service in Lakin. On the farm, on the ranch, or at your place, or at Hendricks Welding 3 miles west of Lakin. Welding done right the professional way. Call Brad Hendricks at Hendricks Welding at 355-6734. That's Hendricks Welding. Don't do it yourself and make a mess. Just call old Brad.
Welcome back to Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. The Broncs see their season come to an end, losing to Halstead tonight in the opening round of the 2A state playoffs. Halstead winning by the score of 36-0. Broncs will see their season come to an end, and their record will fall to 6-3. Halstead will improve to 4-5 on the season, and will move on to meet either Beloit or Minneapolis next week. And Jared's down on the field, and this is the for one, Jared, I want to thank you for all that you've done for us this year, and you've jumped out and helped us here in the last 4 years, and I appreciate it. I've enjoyed it. I love working with you.
Yep.
Not many times that a father and son they get to work together and can work together, but this has been a lot of fun. I appreciate you being the one down there freezing on the sideline, but you'd rather be down there than be up here in the booth anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
It's definitely a better seat, but this upcoming interview with Coach Bamberger is always the hardest one to do of the year. It's the final one, and that's always hard to do, and it's hard for me, hard for him, and sad to see when you've had a successful season when you see it come to an end, but it wouldn't to be tonight. That's just the way it is. Has to be a winner, has to be a loser, or you wouldn't play. So
I don't even know a player of the game either, by the way, so whatever you decide.
Well,
because I have no one.
Well, like I said, unfortunately, we don't have the medallion, but I was looking at Norian Cantu.
Okay.
Was who I was looking at, the defensive lineman, and
yeah, I'd like that one.
He had, second half wasn't a good one for the Broncs, but the first half, it was scoreless first quarter. They were trailing 12-0, got back to within 12-6, and then the floodgates opened. But I thought Norian Cantu looked like he played a good ball game tonight. And, like I said, it just one of those nights it just wasn't to be.
Yeah, I like that pick.
For 2.5 quarters, it was a good ball game. From there on, it just wasn't to be. So, if we get a medallion from Dwayne and D-Bach Metals, and once again, thanks to D-Bach Metals for those medallions. Appreciate it, and I know the kids love them. So, like I said, this is always hard to talk to the coach when it ends, and
We'll have to find the layers for this weekend too, I guess.
Just
in case.
It's not supposed to be super cold in Kansas City on Monday, but it
something waterproof.
Yeah, we definitely have to get things waterproof. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to go bust out the winter stuff.
Yeah. Not going to be it's not a good looking forecast for Monday. So.
Yeah, because if it feels like this on Monday, whew.
Yeah, and
that's
rain.
That's going to be rough.
Well, the thing is, the high is 65, and it's going to cool down at night.
Yeah.
So, it may very well be, the one main purchase we're going to make when we get there, and that's rain gear.
I'd say that and hand warmers just in case.
Just in case.
And then I think we'll be good. I got all the other stuff covered.
Yeah. I'll have to we'll have to do that as well. But yeah, I'm not liking that rain forecast. And the thing about it is, They can give a, they can even give a 20% chance of rain out here, and we ain't going to get it. They can give a 90% chance of rain. We ain't going to get it. But back there, when they say it's going to rain, it's going to rain.
Yeah. I'm saying, like you said, at least that's for all of Kansas City. So who knows where the main spot's going to be, and hopefully we're not in that spot.
Yeah, I hope it's just pours on downtown Kansas City and leaves Raytown area alone.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, shoot. But, yep, looking forward to it, though. Oh, somebody put on here, we want Derby. Good luck with that.
Oh, the nose is running now. I need to get to the bathroom, too. I had a Gatorade, a water, and a tea. And I need to go make a pit stop.
Yeah.
Cold doesn't help out.
Bronx now breaking the huddle, and of course they will talk to friends and family, and once again, like I said, we will talk to the coach, and we'll put another season to bed. Like I said.
You do have me on the camera, right?
Yep, you're
Okay,
there.
Just making sure.
Yep. So as we wait, I want to thank all the great sponsors that make Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube possible. Those of you watching, if you visit the businesses, please thank them for what they do. Let me tell you, it means a lot to them. I can't thank them enough for their 18 years of support for us here on Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. And those of you watching, please thank those businesses, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here able to do it on our own. And And, of course, a big thank you to J.D. Ham, our do everything for us here on Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. 20 years ago, this wouldn't have been possible without meeting J.D. 20 years ago. So, J.D., thank you for all of what you do for us here on Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube. And the ins and outs, the commercials. And definitely couldn't have done it without him. Sandy was here taking pictures. They'll be on the LakinSports.com Facebook page. For anybody that wants to go out and download them and create your scrapbook, whatever you want, that's fine. That's why we do it. We're here for the kids, not for anything else. So still waiting to talk to Coach. And like I said, this is not going to be this isn't fun. This is the worst part of a season right here, is when it comes to an end. But congratulations once again to Halstead, winning it 36-6. And I don't know, Jared, we may not even get to talk to Coach. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But tough game for a lot of seniors. Adric Gomez-Escobel, Ross Ryder, Lucas McCombs, Armando Salcido, Drew Patterson, Timmy Johnson, Coulter Oldham, Blair Jones, Jesse Cheney, Kevin Tanner. Well, Kevin wasn't on the team at the end of the year. Grant Mendenhall, Brian Romero, Thomas Peters, all walking off the field for their final time here at Lakin. And we're now joined by Bronc head coach Chris Bamberger. And, Coach, like I was telling Jared, this is always the hardest part of a season is when it comes to an end. But it stings right now, and these guys are hurting, and it's a tough pill to swallow right now. But these kids are going to look back on a season that these kids did a lot of good things.
Yeah, you know, there's only a few teams that finish the season smiling.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't us tonight, obviously. These kids have invested so much. And I think I say it every year, when you do what these kids did and you put the work in that these kids put in, it's hard to lose. And we have a really special group of seniors that, you know, played their last snaps of high school football. So it was tough, but you know what? I can't tell you how proud of them our staff is and our community is. They were a fun bunch to coach. So thankful for the opportunity to be their coach and get to coach them for, you know, their careers. And obviously I hate to end it this way, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, no doubt. And we talked earlier today about how this team was fun to watch, but I told you how fun this team was because they enjoyed being together, and you could tell they loved the game of football when they were playing. And this was an exciting bunch, and a lot of great seniors that played their final game. But like I said, this was a fun team to watch just for the simple reason you didn't see a lot of stuff on the sidelines. These guys supported each other, and they played for each other. And I think that was the thing I enjoyed most about this team this year.
Yeah, you know, they cared. You know, they cared about each other, and you know, they really didn't get caught up in a lot of the selfish things that team sports can come with at times, stats and things like that. And, you know, we had a lot of guys that they didn't care. They just wanted to play, you know, and I think it's funny because practice isn't always fun, but these kids had fun at practice. They just liked the opportunity to play football, and it's just fun to be around kids that love to play the sport.
Yeah, tonight the Broncs and the Dragons, it was scoreless at the end of the first quarter. Dragons led 12-0 at halftime, but the Broncs, a great kick return to start the second half, and the Broncs were in business, cut the lead to 6, and really thought it was going to change, but it just the momentum didn't quite change. Halstead had a huge return coming right back after that score for the Broncs, but you know, that was one of those things. The Broncs were down at halftime, and we talked about it all year long. This team never quit, even right down to the final when they're losing by 30. This team still never quit, and that's, to me, a sign of Lakin football every year. You know, they may not always win every game, but they're never going to quit on any game.
No, you just hope they continue to fight, continue to battle. Like you said, we couldn't ever feel like we could get the momentum in our way. We would hit some big plays and things. We'd do some good things, and then we'd kind of hurt ourselves a little bit. And you know what? Credit to Halstead. You know, that's a good football team over there. I think, I think probably an underrated football team when it comes to this time of year. You know, those kids. There's a lot of good football players over there, and they did a really good job. So we couldn't really get things going, and they capitalized on some of our issues and mistakes, and they made us pay for them.
Well, and the thing is, with a 3-5 record this time of year, a lot of teams don't get credit. Now, I didn't overlook this team because you look at who they played and the league they play in and things like that. So, and that's the thing with this time of year. You can't overlook anybody. Doesn't matter if they come in 1-7 or 3-5 or whatever. It's just now the cream rises to the top, and that's just – like you said, it's a good football team, but the Broncs, like I said, this is very difficult tonight, and this team will look back, and I'll tell you what, they'll be a team that's going to be fun at a 10-year reunion, at a 20-year reunion. They'll look back on the things that they accomplished in their 4 years here.
Yeah, you know what, it'll hurt for a while, but, you know, as you get older, the stories get bigger, just like always, and you have certain things that you get to look back on, and you know what, ultimately, that's what you go for. You know, that's why we really love this game. Winning is fun. Winning at the highest level is the most fun, and doing those things right. But ultimately, you know, you're a school athlete, and you get to have a lot of experiences together. And, you know, I hope that they have something that they can look back on this season and have a good time together and talk and have fun and have some positive memories. They had a hell of a season, Brett. They did a lot of really good things this year, and they'll have a lot of things to talk about that should make them smile.
You're exactly right. And, Coach, I want to thank you for always taking the time to talk to us this year. Always have enjoyed it. I know it's tough right now at this point in time, but I'm going to let you go spend your final minutes with your team out on the field. But it's been a pleasure this year. It's been a fun team to watch, and hats off to you coaches that made it fun as well.
Well, Brett, you provide a service for us here at Lakin that not a lot of small schools do, and so we appreciate all that you do for us and our fans and allow us to do what we do.
It's been our privilege, Coach. Once again, thank you, and we look forward to talking to you down the road.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bronc head coach Chris Benberger. Once again, the Broncs lose it tonight by the score of 36-6, and they see their season end. Well, that's going to wrap it up from here at Bronc Field. Oh, real quick, our D-Buck Medals player of the game will be Norian Cantu, and we'll get a medallion for him for his efforts here tonight. And for that, I want to thank all the sponsors that make Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube possible. I know I thanked them earlier. Sandy was here taking pictures. Thank you to her that keeps up with all the photographs on the Lakin the LakinSports.com Facebook page. And of course, Jared. I couldn't do it without him. And like I said, there's not many times that a father and son get to work together, but we also get along to work together as well. And I appreciate all he does for us here on LakinSports.com. And, of course, it's a family thing. And in our 18th year, my boys have grown up through this. And I thank them for all of their support and my family's support as we do this. And, of course, the school and community for all of their support as well. I greatly appreciate everything that we have been recognized for and been supported for. So we appreciate that as well. So that's going to do it. We'll be back on the air December 5th, I believe it is, when basketball season starts, as the Broncs open their 24-25 basketball season. And we'll have all of that action for you here on LakinSports.com, Lakin Bronc Sports as well. So until then, everybody take care. We will have Thanksgiving before we're back on the air, so everybody have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. God bless to each and every one of you. God bless. Take care, and we'll be talking to you soon. Until then, God bless.
Well, that wraps things up for today's Lakin High Sports Coverage. Be sure to join us for the next big Lakin High Sports Contest, brought to you by the KCB Bank of Lakin and Garden City, the agency of Lakin and Garden City, your full-line insurance agency, Lakin Hay and the Lakin Dairy, Forever Ipsima, Shelter Insurance, Gwen Wecker, East Highway 50, Lakin, Flashbacks Diner, West Highway 50, Lakin, the Golden Plains Credit Union, Life with a Touch of Gold, the Lakin Recreation Commission, Lakin Grub, 610 O'Laughlin, Lakin, Shorty's Cafe, Main Street, Lakin, the Kearney County Economic Development, Ralph Goodnight, Pioneer Communications of Southwest Kansas, Hendricks Welding, Brad Hendricks, and D-Buck Metals of Lakin, player of the game, medal sponsor. Again, thanks, sponsors. Please let them know you appreciate what they do. We'll see you next time here on LakinSports.com.